Welcome back. The wait is finally over for Schapelle Corby. The convicted drug smuggler is spending the last days of her parole in Bali before flying back to Australia. What will life be like for the former beauty student back on home soil?
Life sentence for you.
Schapelle Corby's enforced stay in paradise is almost over. After 13 long years, she'll be on a plane out of here and she'll be free. Obviously, you've been employed to help her leave the country. Can you tell us anything about what's going to happen? She'll reportedly be escorted home by bodyguard John McLeod, who's worked with celebrities like Lady Gaga. Are they concerned about how it's all going to unfold?
The Indonesian officials actually consider her to be a convicted drug trafficker, a convicted criminal, and certainly not a celebrity.
News Limited journalist Cindy Wachner was here when Schapelle was arrested and will be here to see her leave.
I mean, I get asked all the time by officials, who is Schapelle Corby? Why is she so famous? She's not a celebrity. And that is what they say to me very regularly here.
For the last 3 years, Schapelle has been on parole, free to leave jail, but not free to leave Bali. For most of that time, she's rented this house in a back street of Kuta. And now that the day of her departure draws closer and the media are taking interest, her family says she is once again a prisoner, this time in her own home. Hello, it's Chris Allen from A Current Affair, Channel 9. Just wondering if anyone was home. Doesn't look like anyone's answering. Obviously, there are security cameras here, so they must know we're here. We understand this is Mercedes' van, but it doesn't appear anyone is going to talk to us. Schapelle hasn't been seen in public for more than a week. Security cameras have recently been installed at her house, and her sister Mercedes is here to keep the waiting photographers at bay.
Channel 9, A Current Affair tadinya.
The way the media operates here is very different to the way we see the media operating in Australia, in that there are very few restrictions on where you film, how close you get to people. We saw that during the court case, during the release from prison. Officials are very concerned not to make it look like they're obstructing the media in any way. So that obviously leads to more chaos when these things are happening.
On Saturday, Schapelle is expected to visit this place one last time. This is the parole office, a place she's had to come and visit and sign in every month since she got out of jail. And who could forget those chaotic scenes that unfolded 3 years ago when she was first brought here to sign her parole papers. Well, as you can see, there's been an ugly melee as Schapelle arrived here, with cameramen and everybody scuffing to get a shot of it.
This is over. This part of this, what she would call a nightmare, is totally over.
When she gets here, it'll be a pretty short process. All she has to do is sign the parole book one last time. Then we're told she'll be taken into the custody of immigration officers and taken straight to the airport.
Everyone who is a convicted criminal is blacklisted for a certain period of time. That ranges from 6 months to anything to a lifetime ban.
When she flies back into Australia, Schapelle will be flying back to a very different place from the one she left, and she will be a very different person. When she flew over to Bali in 2004, she was a carefree 27-year-old. Now she's almost 40 and has spent the last 13 years as a prisoner in a third world country. So she's bound to experience some kind of culture shock.
I think she'll cope okay. I think she'll be a brand. I think she'll turn into a B-list celebrity and we're going to see her everywhere.
Radio host Neil Mitchell says Schapelle could be in demand.
Look, I reckon she could end up in the jungle on a reality TV series. I reckon she'll be in every tent at the Melbourne Cup and she'll probably open her own bar.
There's a lot of people in Australia who believe she's innocent and they'll be welcoming her back and want to support her.
Celebrity agent Max Markson can hear the cash register ringing.
Paparazzi will be taking photographs of her, the media will want to interview her.
And when she gets back, where will Schapelle live? No doubt she'll want to spend some time with her mum Roz, who lives here in Loganlea on Brisbane's south side. G'day, Roz, how are you?
Fine.
While Roz doesn't want to talk to us, her neighbour Reese Brett is looking forward to seeing Schapelle in the street.
I believe she has the right to come home and see friends and family and learn from her mistake and live like a normal human.
Or will she end up living with her sister Mercedes here on the southern end of the Gold Coast, a stone's throw from the beach?
I think a lot of Australians have had enough of Schapelle and her family.
I'm not talking to you!
Commentator Prue McSween is not sure Aussies will throw out the welcome mat.
If she turns up at Centrelink, there's going to be cameras. We'll all be wondering how long we're going to have to support her in her new career. What is the career? Is it going to be a malingerer lying on the beach all day, watching the waves?
Schapelle will be back in Australia in time to celebrate her 40th birthday in July. So where will she party? Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be here. The Laneway Bar and Cafe, opened by her sister. It closed amid an ugly stoush between Mercedes Corby and her former business partner.
She'll have a big party, no doubt, and we'll hear all about it in some magazine somewhere, and there'll be paparazzi pictures.
But some, like journalist Cindy Wachner, think Schapelle may be happier to return to Bali to live.
She has her boyfriend here.
Schapelle met Ben Panangian in jail, and he has drug convictions which may make it harder for him to enter Australia.
Can't see the Balinese, the Indonesians, letting her back in. So I think she may have to settle for some nasi goreng locally.
His life sentence for you?
We all know the story.
You took a word of a liar and he's one of your people! How dare you!
Always claiming it wasn't her that put 4.2 kilos of dope in her bag.
It's not my drugs. I wouldn't even know where to get the drugs from.
With a reduction in her sentence, she ended up spending 9 years behind bars.
Another day in the land of the gods.
And then 3 years on parole.
Welcome home, honey. I just hope you've learnt your lesson.
Well, I'd say you've wasted a lot of your life, guilty or not, that section of your life's gone. Get on with it, and certainly don't waste it in celebrity tents.